Welcome to Dancing with the Minecraft Stars. I'm your host, GamePar, and today we are coming at you from the world's biggest dance floor. So here we are from what is not the world's biggest dance floor. What this actually is the foundation flooring for our concrete farm. Now, if you remember in the last video, I said that at the end that I would be putting obsidian down on the floor because it wouldn't be easy to break when we're mining all the concrete. And, well, that was just a dumb idea. You see, I was going to go and get lava buckets and fill this whole place up, water it down, create the obsidian, but I got doing the math. The long edge of this thing is 155 blocks long. The short edge, or the width, is 66 blocks wide. And when you multiply those two numbers together, you get 10,230 blocks, which comprises this entire floor. And I would have been spending the next year getting lava just for this one project, so we're not doing that. And I was sitting down, I was thinking about this floor, and I was thinking about how I was going to do it, and I realized a pickaxe doesn't mine wood very easily. So it was much easier to grab some jungle trees from a nearby jungle that we found, create these trees, cut them down, and lay down this massive jungle wood floor. And I think that's going to work. So today we are going to get started on the actual construction of this concrete farm. The first thing that we need to do is lay out the floor plan, the various different sections for each color of concrete that we're going to be making. So I think what we're going to do is do that in a third-person time lapse. I'm going to lay it out the edge. I'm going to use stone bricks to do that, stone blocks to do that. And we're just going to lay it out, and then we're going to build up the walls. I think we're going to do some glass walls primarily so that we can see the levels of concrete powder that we have in each section. And I've got an idea about doing some structurals in the concrete in the appropriate color for the area. So I think that's going to turn out pretty good. I'm thinking we're just going to do either white or clear glass for the walls, but we're going to do the coloring with the colored concrete and do some interesting support structures. I'm not sure how that's going to work out yet. I haven't done anything like that before, so we shall see. So let's get the foundational blueprint, we shall say, laid out. During this time-lapse voiceover, I'm sitting here at my desk in my studio, which is essentially our garage that we've renovated so that I can do the Minecraft videos here, and I have a workspace for building models, and I really quite enjoy it. But I'm sitting here, and our garage doors are wide open. Well, the one that we open is wide open, and it's fantastic. You see, it's probably about 18 degrees Celsius outside. I don't know what that equates to in Fahrenheit. You can do the math. But for me, it is pretty much the perfect temperature right now. You see, a lot of people love the summertime when it's nice and hot and the sun's out. For me, the sun is not my friend. I don't do well in the heat. I don't feel well if I've been out in the sun. And for me, the cooler temperatures are my favorite temperatures. Now, we're kind of in the Goldilocks zone for me right now. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's just right. So I've got that door open, and I've got the cool air coming through, and it's wonderful. Not too long from now, it's going to get really, really cold. Generally, the average temperature here in the winter time is around minus 10 degrees Celsius. And of course, it fluctuates warmer than that and much, much colder than that. But the temperature that it would be most of the time is probably around minus 10 degrees Celsius. And I mean, I love winter, but that gets a little tiresome after a while. So the fall for me is the season when things are just right. You know, that Goldilocks zone for temperatures. I'm wondering, I know people live all over the world, have different climates, different year-round temperatures. And I'm wondering, what is your favorite time of year weather-wise? Like, what is the perfect weather for you? Are you one of these people that likes to go and sit on a beach and just bake under the sun? You really love that? Or do you like the fall, spring, the winter when it's cold and you can do all kinds of winter activities, skiing, skating, all that kind of stuff? Let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'm really interested to see what people think. What is your favorite time of year? Well, we're just about finished building this. Back to the video. Foundations are down for each of the sections. Our next task is going to be a big one. The next task that we have to do is to get the glass walls all around the exterior up. And that's going to require an enormous amount of sand turned into glass. So we need to build ourselves some sort of smelter. Now, I know that there are all kinds of ways to set up automatic smelting and different things like that, but what I think we're going to do is set up a simple linear smelter system, linear array smelter system. For this, we need to have a collection chest. All right, I'm going to build this up a few blocks, so let me get a couple extra blocks as support blocks. The wood will work fine. I'll get rid of it. Let's get that in where the fish is at the moment. And I think I'll do it going that way. So let's get some wood down so that we can have a couple collection chests. And we have some height to work from underneath. So let's put down the first collection chest. There we go. Then we need to have hoppers running from these. And I'm going to do 16... that's not what I want to do. I'm going to do 16 furnaces in this system. So that's 3, 4... my aim is off for some reason. 3, 7... 8. These hoppers are going to be collecting the glass out of our furnaces. So on top of these hoppers, we're going to put our 16 furnaces. So let's get the furnaces in my hand. Shift click, all the way down the line. All right, those are the furnaces in place. Now we need to be able to feed these coal. So we're going to put hoppers in to our furnace like this. Hopper, 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 hopper. Now we'll hop on top. And we're going to put hoppers going down into these furnaces. And now we're going to put chests on top. And all these chests with the new chest mechanic should all stay individual chests. I do like that. Laying these down. So these chests up top will hold sand. And these hoppers... Oh, I need to get up on top here. Let's continue with our chests. We're not going to have enough chests, are we? Or are we? Oh, no, I think we will have enough chests. No, we're not, because we haven't done any of the chests on this. No. Okay, I'm completely wrong. We're going to have more than enough. We're fine. All right, so that should be the smelter system set up. Now we're going to grab some fuel, coal in these. I know that there's probably better ways to do this. All right, I'm loading these top chests up with a bunch of sand. I've got loads of this. And I'll go ahead, fill all these up, and we'll see how much glass starts to roll in. I've just finished putting 3 stacks of sand in each one of the upper chests. And so let's see in just that short time how much glass we have. Okay, it's rolling in pretty well. So I think this is going to do us well. I'm going to go and get some more fuel. I'm going to fill up those chests with sand. We'll get a whole pile of glass done up, and then we'll start working on these walls. So in an attempt to get some more fuel, I have built this thing. What is this thing, you ask? Well, this is my attempt at creating a kelp farm. And again, it's designed by GamePar, which means it's probably not very efficient, probably not overly aesthetically pleasing, and probably not the right way to do this. But we will see. So I am going to try running a source block all the way down along here. And I should be able to create an infinite source by placing this block there. So I should be able to grab from there and do there. Did I not? No, I didn't get that right. That needs to go there. There we go. Okay. Infinite water source. I'm going to put my initial... Oops. I think that was some lag. Now, my understanding of the kelp mechanics, come on, is that if I plant them, they'll grow into water, into flowing water, and create water source blocks for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant the first layer of kelp along here. This is 20 long, and I think this is 20 long. Okay, so it's 20 blocks long minus the end block, so there's only 18 slots for kelp. But so I'm going to plant the kelp, and if I'm right, I can put flowing water up the top so that it pours down, and as it grows, it'll change each of the flowing water blocks into water source blocks. Can I stick the landing? That's what everybody wants to know. Can I stick the... Nope. Look at this! My theory worked! It's growing! And we haven't even finished putting all the water in yet. That's awesome! So I'm going to get this finished off, and then we should have an unlimited source of fuel. And if this is going to run a little bit slow, though, I might extend it or put more in. We'll see. But this is just temporary, right? This is not going to be here forever. But you'll build a better kelp farm in a little bit. But I think this should serve our purposes for now. So I just went through the process of replacing the sand on the bottom with soul sand, thinking that, when I break the kelp, it'll fly up, fly out, and I'll be able to collect it really easily. I didn't realize that you can't plant kelp on soul sand. You can plant it on pretty much anything else. So what I did decide I could do is just swim up here, collect it all as it floats up to the top, jump back down. I've also planted some kelp in the lake here, and that should give us some extra, because we're going to need a whole pile of fuel for this thing to do this job. So I'm going to see if this grows. I'm going to see about getting this filled up a little bit, and then we're going to get started on the wall, which is going to take me a good chunk of time. I'm not doing a time lapse on that one, because you don't want to watch me build the whole thing. So anybody who knows me on Minecraft knows that, well, I don't ever do anything small scale. And I got thinking about needing lots of fuel and needing lots of kelp and thinking about the little farm that I've got and how it's not really going to provide. And, well, I've kind of upgraded my kelp farm a little bit. Just a little bit. So let's take a quick peek and see what's going on here. So this is basically the same principle as my other kelp farm that I've designed, except that this is going to be near spawn, so it should grow quite often anytime people are on. And it is too wide, and it goes up to the full height possible for kelp. Now, I did a little bit of research into kelp, and I discovered that it doesn't necessarily grow to its highest value, because when you plant the kelp, it has an age value automatically assigned to it. Now, let's see if I can show you. So right over here, you'll see where my arrow is. It says age 1. The lowest value you can get for kelp age is 0, and I have either 1s or 0s here. I might go through and try to get all 0s so that they'll grow all the way up to age 24 at the top. But right now, these are all either age 1 or age 0. Actually, I can show you here. So this one's age 1, age 0, age 1, age 1, 0, 0, 0. So I need to go through, and I've put the water block in the bottom right now, so I can go through and I can cycle through the kelp and get the lowest age possible. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of dirt above, and I didn't do this the first time, and well, I just wasn't thinking. So I'm going to put a layer of dirt, set up my water source blocks, then get rid of all the dirt, and the water will flow down, and the kelp will start to grow. So that's the plan. I will bring you back as soon as I get all this kelp in here. So, I came to my hidey hole entrance here, and I found this package on my doorstep and a sign. Rent a cat, 7-day free trial. Enjoy. What is this?
Alrighty. So, Rent a Cat is a new service that I started up very recently. And I'm doing some trial runs with everybody to see how everyone likes having their own special little cat sitting beside them at all times. So these are cats that I've tamed and bred with cats that I've tamed and bred. And so I've got 4 breeder cats that have specific names and whatnot. And I'm breeding up all 3 colors, and there's different packages and time periods that you can rent the cats to guard whatever you want them to guard. And
so if you're building and you don't want creepers blowing things up?
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm providing like guard cats for everyone, and I will, when you want them, you do pay a fee of a certain amount of diamonds for them, depending on how long you want to rent the cat for. You could rent the cat for a day, 7 days, months. You can even go as far as a year, because there's certain like monthly packages and whatnot.
Okay.
So
now are these Minecraft days or real life days? Because Minecraft days are what, 10 minutes?
Real life days. Real life days, not Minecraft days. Oh. If we did Minecraft days, that would be like a huge ripoff.
Well, you don't know, right? It's kind of funny, like on science fiction shows where the aliens say, "You have 1 day." Is that like 1 Earth day or 1 Klingon day?
Thank
or
you.
Like what
exactly.
is it?
Exactly. So that's basically that, and I bring them to you, put them wherever you want me to, and then you're good to go. But it's not just for like creeper stuff. I mean, if you just want to have a bunch of cats around you, you can have like 3 cats around you for the sake of having 3 cats around you.
Do you provide crazy cat lady starter kits?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought of that. That's actually a fantastic idea.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if other players can feed the cats that I've tamed.
Can other players make them sit up?
No.
Okay.
I'm the only one who can move them.
So basically it's we need you to place them on our building site or whatever it is that we need.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like I think there's some workarounds. Like if I were to make the cat sit up and you attached a lead to it, I think if I went far enough away, you might be able to bring the cat places. I've never tried that, but I think that's possible.
Okay.
But still, like if I make the cat sit up and then run away, the cat's gonna follow me. So then the cat's gonna teleport to me. So I don't know how we would be able to actually test something like that. But yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I wasn't sure what, because, like sometimes people will leave baskets of kittens on people's doorsteps and they want them to look after them or something. So I just wasn't quite sure what was going on.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad to have explained
Yeah.
it. There's also I do have a because we've all had this experience at least once in the game where a cat's been blown up even though they're supposed to
Yeah.
guard things or been killed by players. And I do actually have a oops, the cat died fee
Mm-hmm.
that goes along with this. So
I was going to ask about
if I
that.
if a cat dies while it's been rented by any of the players, there is a fee that has to be paid.
Okay, now can you buy cat
Because
insurance ahead of time?
I don't have cat insurance
Oh,
yet because I haven't like completely worked out the whole
the fees?
what do you call it? Yeah, I haven't. I'm still writing up the book that explains like everything in
Yeah.
detail.
Well, when you
You know
rent
what
a
I mean?
car, you have the option to pay the rental insurance on it, so that if it gets totaled while it's in your care, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's something that can definitely be
It might
done.
be more lucrative
I,
for you too, because you pay
mm,
that up front, and if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So,
yeah,
and then
that's a
just
good
charge an
point.
exorbitant
It's a
amount
very good.
if they don't buy the insurance and the kitty dies.
Mm-hmm.
More
Yeah,
dimes for you.
exactly. And I would definitely make the cost of the insurance lower than the cost of the not having
Mm-hmm.
insurance because that would make sense. I'm shocked I didn't think of that because I used to work in sales. So
Upsale,
you were a
upsale,
genius.
upsale.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Exactly.
Did you see this building I've got going on over here?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's I I'm building my concrete factory, and it's going to require a lot of glass because it's kind of hard to explain how I'm doing it, but I want to be able to see the levels of things inside, so I'm going to want to be able to see inside. And I realized I really don't have enough fuel to create the glass I'm going to need. So I built a little tiny kelp farm over by my construction site, and uh, I'm like, this is not going to produce. And I don't ever do anything on Minecraft kind of small scale. Buck could attest to that. But so I kind of got sidetracked and distracted and started building this, did a little bit of research on kelp. Yeah, I'm supposed to be working on my concrete factory, and this is kind of what's happened.
Honestly, though, kelp farm, really
Yeah.
cool. And the factory, I think, is one of those things that, no offense, but can stand to wait a little while. You know what I mean?
Well, I
The kelp is a kind of a
yeah, but
necessity.
I plan to use a fair bit of concrete myself.
Mm,
So
that's true.
I've tried. So normally when people are making concrete, they come up to water and they place the block, break the block, place the block, break the block, and I find that rather tedious, right? So
Mm,
I've come up with what I think is a better way of making hardened concrete. So I'm not really talking a whole lot about it until I've got it done, because I haven't seen it done like this anywhere before. And one, if it doesn't work, then if I haven't told everybody how I'm doing it, then it's no great big loss. If it does work, I've come up with something, right? So kind of like the
mm.
figuring out that mechanic of the phantoms. By the way, how is the phantom farm working?
It works really good.
Okay.
I'm going to update the one we have here to the one in my tutorial because the one in my tutorial works better than what we have here.
Okay.
So it is not like the one we have here doesn't work, but the one in my tutorial works
Okay, so you
better.
built the tutorial after you built this one then.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. And I, if you had not figured out that phantom mechanic, I never would have
Mm-hmm.
built that. Because to me, it was like, oh, I'll just run outside and shoot a bunch of phantoms with my bow and arrow or hit them with my sword or whatever, and I'll get phantom membranes when I get
Well,
phantom
yeah, and I
membranes. And
discovered it by accident when I was
yeah,
trying to get ender pearls to get to the end. I just built that.
oh, that's how
Yeah,
you
because
figured
the
it out.
Enderman can't come in there, right? But then I accidentally had the
Mm-hmm.
phantom swooping down on me and uh, getting stuck, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. This could be a thing. So
Yeah. And I've looked up other Phantom Farm designs too, and I've seen some pretty interestingly different ones. Some that kind of incorporate that mechanic a little bit, but not really. But a lot of them are like there was one that I saw that requires you to take damage in order to get the membranes, and I'm like,
Who wants to take damage?
yeah. I mean, with the one that I built, you kind of do, but you're better
Yeah.
protected than if
Well,
like,
phantom farming, it's not like you can just AFK and do it. Like, well, maybe you could.
yeah,
Maybe there's a way to set up, like where it
there
trips
is.
something and it crushes them with pistons or something. But
There is. I've seen that. I also the one that I'm talking about where you take damage that is an AFK
okay,
farm, but you take damage every time they fly in, so
yeah,
there's a serious danger that you could die, and if you're AFK, your stuff's gonna
yeah. Well, you'd
despawn.
have to have beacons with buffs and stuff like that. So when I build the guardian farm, I'm gonna make sure I have some beacons that are giving me some good buffs so that I can not die
Hmm.
when I kill a whole pile of guardians. So cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Yay!
thanks for giving me the deal on
You're
on
welcome.
the kitty rental, and you'll have to come back and take a look at this when it's done and see how it's doing.
Definitely. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be really beautiful when the kelp actually
Yeah,
grows
and
in
I'm going
because
to
yeah.
like I'm getting it working first, and then I'm going to work on making it look better. But I want to
Mm.
get the mechanics of it working first. So.
Wait, I could totally
So
jump
the way
that.
it's going to work is when you're going through, just like when you shear off the sugar cane, you're just going to come along here and shear off
Hmm.
this level. Once it all grows, it's going to float to the top, and either I'm going to develop some sort of hopper catch system.
That would be really
I'm
cool.
thinking about that down the line, or um, do something with like I can't do water flowing because it's going to turn everything into source blocks, right? When the kelp grows,
Mm.
but for the time being, I'm just going to run along the top and collect it. And when this is full of water, the easiest way to get up to the top is just going to be to float up to the top from the inside.
Yeah, are you going to have like a conduit underneath here so that we don't
You know
suffocate?
what? I hadn't thought about that, but I've got probably 9 or 10 hearts of the sea and loads of
Ooh, nice.
nautilus shells, so I could easily set one up under here and not really have it impact anything. So yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'll have to take a look at that. I've got emergency
Cool.
exits so that if you need to get a breather, you can just kind of pop out and get a breather.
I kind of had a feeling that's
Yeah,
what that was for. Also, to be stuck inside a really tall enclosed two block wide space
yeah,
is kind of scary, but awesome. Oh yeah, I see that you have the openings down at the end too.
yeah. That's your way in and out, and you just come right through and go break, 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 break. It all floats to the top. You just head up to the top and collect it all. Yeah.
Sweet. I'm glad you have the signs everywhere. Signs are like the best way to tell people things. And I leave signs on like
Well, I'm going through
everything.
the effort.
Like every time I leave you a thing, I leave a
Yeah.
sign with it. It's like, oh
What's the
my
Thorns
God.
book for, by the way?
You?
I know, but you left the sign saying, "I hope this helps," but I'm like, what did I do that prompted this?
You died a lot and you lost things.
Ah, okay, just my basic noobness and dying. Okay, I got
I wouldn't
it.
say noobness because you're not a noob, but just basically like I felt horrible for you because like you've died so much, and I'm like this poor guy. Plus, like your whole emergency
Box
gear
thing.
project that
Yeah,
you're working on. I'm like
yeah.
Thorns is
Well,
helpful.
so I was just flying out towards Buckspace, and I came across their spawner that he and Silver have been building. And so I went up to take a look, and then I jumped off, and I was trying to fly, and it didn't work. Something happened, and flight didn't engage, and I just kind of splattered all over the floor. So that was another death. So I ran back, collected
Fun.
everything, and I tried to land on it again. Nope, didn't work. Splattered all over the desert. So I've got two more
Oh my God.
deaths, and me explaining that to you is probably where the death counter is going to go up on my videos. So,
Yeah, see, when people wonder why I don't use an elytra, that's why, because I've seen a lot of problems lately with 1.13 in particular of the elytra not activating even after people use rockets. Like I saw Mumbo like leap off his thing, his big orb thing that he's building, his storage system, tries to take off. I can hear him smacking on the space bar, and he's like setting off rockets too, I think. He never flew, and he splattered. And it's like, that's really a bad glitch. A really bad glitch. And I've always had problems with the elytra anyways. It doesn't work with my brain. Like any other transport I'm fine with, but
I never
elytras.
used it before this server because the family-friendly server I staff on, we've got jetpacks. And so elytra really don't matter, right?
Yeah,
so I'm learning how to use the jetpacks properly. So it's probably just me not knowing what I'm doing, right? But yeah, so
I've seen experienced elytra flyers have the same problem, so I don't think it's you. I think it's Minecraft.
Yeah,
I blame Minecraft.
Just blame it on Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. I blame Minecraft and Microsoft for all my problems in my life.
Yeah.
They've ruined everything.
Well, I better get back to placing my kelp here so I can get this thing finished.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you should do that.
First level of kelp is all in place. Next step is we're going to go all the way to the top and lay down some dirt. Then we're going to put in some water, break out the dirt, and all the water should flow right down. Now, I had to go down into the mine to pick up some dirt because I didn't have anywhere near enough. And I must say, this took an awful lot of time to plant all the kelp and get every single piece of kelp at age 0. I got rid of the ones that were age 1, and they are all now age 0 so that they all grow as high as possible. Must say thank you to Mr. Silver Platinum who came along and helped me lay down the last bunch of kelp. That saved me quite a bit of extra time. Oh man, I don't know how long. It must have been a couple of hours just placing, breaking, and replacing the kelp blocks to get them all to be level age 0. Yeah. But that is an important step if you want to try to get as much out of a kelp farm as you can. Because if you place a whole bunch that are at level or age 24, they're just not going to grow. So if you can't get your kelp in your kelp farm to grow, F3 and check the age of the starter plant. You might find that they're quite a high number, and so they won't grow very much. Dirt blocks in place, now laying down the water source. And the last block in place. Good. All right, all of our water is in place. I just want to make sure I get one water bucket back just in case something happens and I need it. Okay, time to break the dirt. Oops. Shovel. Shovel will work much better. Perfect! And the water's all going down. Let's head down and have a look. Sometimes elytra just don't quite work. We were just talking about that. Just clearing away all this sugar cane just to make sure that I've picked up everything, because I couldn't see a thing through this sugarcane forest. We are gonna I'm gonna AFK for a while and see how this grows. So here we are on top of the brand new kelp farm, and the kelp has grown fantastically. And as you can see, I've started to double the size of this kelp farm. There's a couple of reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into that now because that's all the time we have for today's episode. It's been a long one today. So I just want to say thank you to Alex for coming by and explaining the little kitty and taking a look at my kelp farm. And thank you, Silver Platinum, for helping me plant some of the kelp. If you have not checked out the other players on this server, check out the description below. That will give you links to their channels. But that's it for me today. This is GamePar on the Aquatic Realm server. If you like this video, click that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It really does help. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next episode.